Curse of the Veil here with my buddy God of Dization, and I'm going to be bringing you my first ever tutorial on FoW Speed Clear, how to play a MoP or Mark of Pain Necromancer. So, I'll see you inside. Okay, so at this point we've got the group formed. Now it's usually 3 Sins, a Writ, or a Ranger, 1 Necro, 2 Warriors, and a Monk. Now, if it's all jumbled up like this kind of is, after the group gets ready, we'll most likely change district, and then people will start to get kicked and re-invited to reorder the party. Okay, so for a MoP Necro, you're going to need a specific build. Now, just to let you know, it is Necro Assassin. You're going to need 16 Curses, 9 Soul Reaping, and at least 8 Deadly Arts. At least to be safe. That's what mine are set at, but this character's fairly new, so I don't have all the 15-point attribute quests done quite yet. I'll go ahead and post the template code for the build in the description, and you can get it from there. Okay, so I just loaded in to FoW. Now the first thing everyone's going to want to do is to back up to the wall immediately. Now, if the spawns are all jumbled up and these guys seem to be very far along here, or the same thing for these guys, then you're going to want to make sure that nobody uses cons, because they could wipe the group right in the beginning, and that always sucks. Yep, and this is what I was talking about that shit happening, you know? And, you know, sometimes there's just nothing you can do to stop it, you know, it just kind of happens, and unfortunately it happens somewhat often. Now, if you saw the damage I just spiked there, that's pretty much what this build is based off of. It's just to knock it down really quick. Okay, well, for this run, the group almost wiped right in the beginning. We had like 4 people die, because the main tank sucks so far. So, I'm actually kind of rooting that he'll die, just so I can laugh at him. But pretty much what's going to happen is on this first pull, he's going to gather everything up. Once everything's in a pretty little ball, you're going to spike it. Okay, now he kind of made it really bad, but what you do is you call a target so that the 100 Blades Warriors can spike it. And usually it's in a better group, so you don't have to worry about these leftover guys, because that always sucks. But, you know, he sucks, so... Okay, now, this group, he did really well. He pulled them all together, which is really nice. And pretty much what you want to do is you want to pick somebody in the middle, hit all your skills, make sure you put Assassin's Promise on the target you marked, and then after that, just make sure you call the target so the 100 Blades Warriors know who to hit. After that, it's fairly simple. Okay, so in this poll, we kind of have everyone here because we had some troubles earlier on, so we want to make sure that you call on either a Beast, a Mesmer, or an Elementalist are the best targets, and never put Mark of Pain on the Monk, ever, because then he won't receive any damage from the spike, and, well, it won't work. Okay, now this upcoming poll, the main tank is going to take everything from here, and he's going to bring it all into one bunch just like he did the others. Now, the only difference is these are a lot of casters and a lot of melees, so sometimes the casters are out of reach, and then your group just kind of has to pick up the slack because the spike only works in big clumps. And since usually in this group it doesn't, you gotta rely on those warriors. Okay, so after that first pull, it's fairly simple. You just follow this wall along to this big-ass arena. Now the main tank is going to try to aggro everything out of the way to make sure that there's nothing there. If there is nothing there to begin with, then you've got nothing to worry about, and you can move on through the arena without having to worry about aggroing any mobs. Okay, now in this one, there was some mobs kind of in our way, so we had to spike them. Now, as you can tell, the main tank did a great job on that pool, so it made it really easy to just get everybody down. So now we're going to move on to this arena, and I'll update you on the fights. Alright, if you can see on my minimap, the main tank is just kind of going to run around, get all the groups up top, and just kind of keep everything intact while we move in and take out these small groups along the edge. And there's 4 groups. We're just going to take out everybody, and we do not need a main tank for that, since each group is made up of all casters, so they're all right next to each other. And then you just continue the spike as usual. Now, we just did that first group, and our main tank actually ended up going the wrong way. So, gotta wait for this random Mesmer to randomly attack us. Okay, so yeah, just, spike them down real quick, and a warrior aggro these guys. Okay, so just normally spike them down. Okay, here we go. Next group, call the target, Assassin's Promise. I accidentally casted Barbs, which is definitely my mistake, but I stopped myself and continued the spike as is. Okay, so the same thing's going on. He's just going to make sure everything's grouped up really nice over here as best he can, which it can't be easy. So we're going to run up here, spike this group, and then continue on the smaller groups afterwards. Okay, now up here is a very easy portion. All you do is just finish off these small little groups of rangers, and it's very, very easy to do. If your group wipes here, I don't know what the hell you guys are doing. Alright, that's it. Eternal Forge Master comes up. Wait to take the quests. Okay, now the warriors kind of ran ahead on that one, so we ran into some just like spare Shadow Beast over here on the side. Now it's no big deal, just cast Barbs, Assassin's Promise, and finish him, and just, help get him out of the way, and we move on. Okay, now after the arena is clear and Defend the Temple of War quest is complete, you're going to move on to the forest. Now, most Necros die in the forest. It all really depends on the situation and how well the main tank does. Okay, now the main tank's just going to take some stuff out. Pretty much our job is to just take out these spore rock borer worms, and they're very easy to take down. The only thing is you just got to make sure that you don't aggro too many, because then they can be kind of a hassle, but everything can win in too big of groups. Okay, after all those guys are cleared, the main tank is going to target something. Just target from him and make sure it's at least in the big group. And then spike it. And luckily for me, I got 2 shards that pull, which is cool because, this spike doesn't work without a MoP Necro, so I deserve a lot more than what I get usually in these runs. So that's usually where the Necro dies. Up here, there's a fairly strong chance that it happens too, just not quite as high as that last area. It all depends on how good your main tank is, and like I've said before, our main tank isn't the best, so I'm expecting a death here pretty soon. Okay, now try to make your way over here, and he's just going to aggro as much as he can over here, and he's going to bring him to the very edge of this little cliff type thing right here, or the tip of the bridge. Usually he brings him to the edge of the cliff, and then you just cast across it without having to worry. Now he's about to die, so we gotta move in and do what we do best. Okay, so I did have a death, but it's no big deal. We finished the group, and like I said, I was expecting a death, but that wasn't exactly the main tank's fault like I expected it to be. I didn't know that there was any traps there. I walked into him like a dumbass. Okay, now what's going to happen is the Ritualist is going to stay, or Ranger or Rit is going to stay at that Wailing Lord back there because there's a quest for Griffins.